Howdy and namaste. Namaskar. Surya Namaskar. Namaste, as the Indians would say. Remember, I'm half Indian, guys. I love my Indian sayings. So, we'll jump on, drink some tea, aged. One of the best free and just the best fluids to drink ever. Such a kick-ass smell to it, too. Fucking love this shit. Anyway, I want to jump on live and just talk to you about movies and films, and a particular one that I watched that you guys are going to resonate with. And I'd encourage you to seek out films, what I'd call high vibration films. Of course, there's many low vibration films out there, isn't there? In the world of the arts, there's pop music, low vibration, still okay, and it gives us good pleasure dopamine, doesn't it? Because we grew up with songs, and songs have memories to them, nothing wrong with it, but I started to move towards, I come late to the game, started to move towards high vibration music. I love high vibration music. South American jungle. What's it called? I've forgotten the word. It begins with S. Spirit. I just love music. But anyway, regarding films, I've always, for many years now, before I got into physical health, really enjoyed films. Because I'm sort of a deep person through what I've been through, and I see the world differently, just as you guys do, to the normal person. I can't relate and do small chit chat, and it always has to be deep conversations as I go on my healing journey to share people. I've always been loving high quality films, films that pull me into the moment, films that I can appreciate the cinematography, the mastery, the acting. I love watching people's masteries. I love it when someone's dedicated their life to something and they're entertaining you. It's amazing to watch, and nothing does that more than a quality director that pulls you into the moment or does something unique or offers you something different in film, because often you get bored seeing the same things in film. So they offer you different with great direction, and then with actors you get people that embody the presence of real roles, that sometimes you can get pulled in so much that you forget that you're watching a movie and it's more like real life. So one that's out at the moment that I encourage all of you to be able to relate to see is called Vortex. Now, again, you probably won't find this in your local mainstream cinema, but if you seek it out in, I don't know, in cinemas that show world cinema or independent cinemas, you'll find it. It's called Vortex. It's by a director called Gaspar Noé. Noah. Gaspar's definitely the first name. Noah's Noe, and he's a very controversial director who's, I guess, what you'd call a triggering director. He doesn't shy away from conflict and triggers. I mean, one of his first films there was a rape scene at the end, and people walked out at the end of Cannes. 20 people had to get suffered some kind of, what do you call it, lack of oxygen, panic attacks, whatever. He's pretty brutal, this director. Very brutal. I haven't seen his other films, I just heard about them. But this one I went out to see, and I was encouraged by, basically, the synopsis is, it's following an elderly couple of age of about 80, and in real life fashion following this couple, and then at the beginning they're well and good, but very soon at the beginning it becomes apparent the lady, the 80-year-old lady is getting dementia, which is a big one, and starts losing her memory. And to be honest, dementia and Alzheimer's is there's diseases that are heartbreaking, but I can't think of any worse. I can't think of any worse than seeing someone you love lose their memory of you, and you're their partner, and you've been together such a long time as this elderly couple have, and funny enough, it happens to most of the elderly people, doesn't it? Toxins in the brain from Alzheimer's dementia that builds up. It doesn't come out of nowhere, by the way. Alzheimer's dementias, it takes at least 10-20 years to build up. None of these big diseases do. But I want to get to I mean, I could talk for ages. I can make this half an hour about how amazing the film is. I'll try and give you the big bits that you guys will really appreciate about the movie, because I want to encourage you to go and seek it out. It'll be out on DVD, I guess. You could probably watch it illegally too. Download Vortex. It's a French film, so you need to put the subtitles on it. Anyway, so the beginning, she gets dementia, and then it follows 24 hours. I think it's 24 hours in the life of him and her, 80-year-old couple that have been together a long time, and you see their life, and it's done in a really cool way with a split screen. So you've got one screen at the same time, so there's a split screen. One camera is on the woman, and the other is on the male partner, the old couple. So they're in this nice French apartment. They're obviously well off. The man's a book writer of some esteem, and he's working on a new book, but their whole house is full of library stuff. She was She was a psychiatrist, which is interesting. So the camera follows one left-hand side, her, him. And sometimes they meet and they go about their day, but often they're doing different things, yet in the same apartment. I love it, because there's like an alienation between the two of them, a separation. Actually, there's an implication at the very beginning, which I think is very cool. Like, at the very beginning, there's an implication when he's busy in his office working, and it's quite a big apartment where they don't even need to meet each other. See how the camera comes into it, following each one. During the day, and he shuts one of the doors, and you can see her wanting to knock on the door, but she doesn't want to disturb him. I think this is just before she got Alzheimer's and dementia. So that, I think, implied that she wants more time with her husband that she's still in love with, and he doesn't have the time for her because of his work, his passion, which is cool. I can relate to that. But I think the implication is that that distance between the two of them and her lack of connection with other people, because in that 24 hours, it's only them and their son that comes into this. It's her lack of meaningful connections that she's got in that moment of time that's built up over time, I think, that's caused Alzheimer's dementia. Number two, but actually number one, and it's hinted at this movie, and this bit you guys will definitely be able to relate to, and this director's smart, because this director, Gaspar Noé, the reason why he made this film, and it's is because in 2012 his mother had Alzheimer's dementia, and he had to watch her go through not remembering her partner and her son, which is fucking heartbreaking. When you've got a really smart director that knows how to present images with their own personal mission, because they've been through it themselves, it makes for a quality film. It really does. So here's the thing that the film really implies. Basically, at the beginning, you see that they're both on Pharma drugs. The couple, not just one or two, a lot. And it's even said later on that he's on. I can't remember. One of them's on 4. Oh, that's the man, and then the lady's on like 20 or 30 a day, Pharma drugs. So there's a heavy implication at the beginning that, not heavy implication. Sorry, she was on a load of Pharma drugs. And I think that's the point of the director without having to say it. And also there's another bit that makes it very obvious that the Pharma drugs are basically caused, that this retired psychiatrist lady's been taking has caused her dementia and ultimately her forgetting a partner and things she'd never wished for, but she's done due to taking Pharma drugs, due to a lack of knowledge and awareness that Pharma is actually Harma. Each drug, whatever the fuck it is extremely acidic, and it has to come out the body, and if you're taking that many, it's not fucking coming out your body, because your detox pathways are shut down by the drugs itself, by the acidification, so it's getting stuck like junk in your gunk. But the worst kind of junk is Pharma. It's so bad that it causes dementia and Alzheimer's, all these man-made fucking diseases. That's what Harma does. I actually think it's a deliberate. There's many diseases you can get out there, but it's the concoction of this evil shit that they put into us through Harma that causes this unique, horrible disease where you fucking forget who you are. You forget who you are, you forget your friends, your family, there is nothing worse of it. Anyway, I also know that it's definitely, this director is raising awareness for Harma with this very painful film. I might add that I haven't cried in the cinema for a long time. But I bawled my eyes out many times watching it. And I was like, fuck, you are so brutal. This director is so brutal. This film is so brutal the way it's done. They're also legendary French actors too, so they know what they're doing. They really pull you in the moment. But it was very brutal. Extremely brutal. And I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was bawling and really feeling what was going through the suffering. Funny enough, I won't spoil too much of the movie, but the man's also going through, as the age was going through issues himself, because he's got high blood pressure. He's had a stroke 3 years ago, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's tragedy all around. And at one point, I will say that the lady flushes all in one symbolic moment at a particular time. She flushes all of the toilets. She flushes all of the drugs in the medicine cabinet down the toilet when there's like some epic Ennio Morricone music. I think it's from The Good, Bad and the Ugly. Fucking love that movie. I love Ennio Morricone soundtrack. Sounds. He's an amazing composer. You all would have heard of it. The Ecstasy of Gold, The Good, Bad, the Ugly theme tune. I think she flushes them all down at this symbolic moment. Again, a huge obvious implication. I think that's what the director's driving at. The main message is, fucking hell, Big Pharma kills people, and it gives you dementia, Alzheimer's, and in the end it kills them both, and she flushes them down the toilet, the drugs. It's a fucking tragic film. That's why I love movies. They're not all like fantasy, fun and games. Sometimes it's good to take movies to watch for fantasy and just to take a break, you know, be in your own fantasy land, because life's too tough. But sometimes you want to go right in there and watch a quality movie that shows you the life of the people that you love and the way the world is heading. Because let's be honest, if the world keeps heading with the rates of cancer and disease and toxicity in our air, water, the lack of awareness, the rates of people getting Alzheimer's, dementias, and all these horrible diseases are going to increase. So it's a nice reminder to me, and to you guys, of why you do what you do, focusing on the only thing you can, which is your own vibration for your physical, emotional, spiritual health protocols, but also planting seeds in those you love, because we don't want those that we love especially to go down. To be honest, does anyone here really want anyone out there in the human world to experience what other people experience? Go and watch Vortex if you think it's an easy ride. Watching someone you love, or anyone, these aren't even people I love. I just spent an hour and a half in the cinema with them, but it was very painful to watch because I felt invested in their life. We're invested in all humanity. We get true happiness through connection and helping others. That's how we're invested with even a stranger's health. We get rewarded with happiness and good vibes from helping others. And there is nothing more in these times than raising awareness of pharma, drugs, Harma drugs, getting the people you love less and less and eventually off them, and then getting them after they get off the drugs, which I think is the primary thing to do, get them on the most powerful health protocols of all time. I'm a specialist. I'm not a specialist in emotional, spiritual. I've obviously done a lot of work on messing about my head and changing my thoughts, but I'm a specialist on physical health protocols. I look to other people for specialties that I don't have. I also learn from other people in physical health. So you learn from everybody, and they all influence each other. And this one I'm talking about is Harma in terms of physical health protocols, because this lady getting dementia, when people get dementia, their personality doesn't change. They don't become a dickhead at the core. The personality doesn't change, but if the body gets taken down, you will die. And that's the real reason, I think, to work for me on my physical health protocols, so I can improve my quality of my life, and so I can live a little longer and give a bit more value. To me, maybe I'll just say something here that I think is okay not to resonate with, because I don't think this is a mainstream view from even you guys. I don't think, even with COVID vaccines and whatnot, it changes the personality. This is what I don't think. I think when people say that in the community, all these COVID vaccines are changing people's personalities they know and love, I think that's a bias. From my experience being out and about in the matrix, and I'm quite in tune with people. One of my skills too is I'm very receptive to emotions and how people perceive me. I'm very sensitive. I haven't seen those changes. But with COVID vaccines and all the poisons, what will happen is the degradation of the human body. The personality doesn't shift, but the body will die and be decrepit, and no one wants to see anyone suffer in pain. I don't want to see it. To that end, we do what we do. We raise awareness, we get off the bad. First step in health. Well, you can add the good whilst doing the bad, but really you've got to get rid of the bad. And the super bad that's taking everyone down right now is mainstream cancer, protocols, cut, poison / burn, pharma drugs of all kinds. Pretty much all of them are fucking useless and dangerous, not just useless. They must be gotten rid of. Everyone must wean themselves off this shit. But at these mad times, pharma drugs and pharma company profits are through the roof, because everybody believes in them, and that's the problem. Then often these pharma drugs don't kill them tomorrow. You take 20 pharma drugs and tomorrow you pop off and clog. No. They're smart. I think they've been deliberately conceived for a slow death poison. Slow depopulation agenda, not fast. I also think the COVID has been a slow depopulation agenda too. That's a bit controversial. I don't think it's been a quick one. I think it's a slow poison. I definitely know the pharma drugs is a slow poison, and there's nothing to exemplify that more than cancer, which is often a slow one, slow burner kill, and the ultimate slow burner kill is dementia and Alzheimer's, and that's true suffering, because like I said, you do not want to see someone you love forget who the fuck you are, because that is beyond painful. I'm quivering slightly at the thought of it. I'm quivering slightly because of remembering that film yesterday. It was highly uncomfortable, but important to watch. There will be no better film on Alzheimer's dementia breakdown of a loved one to really emphasize his point, so it doesn't become us and the people we love. Watch Vortex. It's a really, really epic film from an epic director. I loved it. Funny story in that too, just to add, is he was, because it was filmed during COVID, he was told by his producers, can we do a film inside, not outside like he normally does and flashy, because it's COVID, all the restrictions, all the stupid masks and all that makes it harder. So he said, okay, we'll film it inside. Like I said, it was a passion project of his. His mum went through Alzheimer's in 2012. There was another film about Alzheimer's I want to watch called Amor, which is really good. And what I was going to say, yeah, it was filmed in 5 weeks. Vortex was amazing, because I read up on them before I go and see too. I'm a geek. It was made in 5 weeks, and it was edited in 2 months. And in the lifespan of a movie, it was from beginning to end. It was 8.5 months. He said, the director, less than the making of a baby. Which, by the way, in the world of films and epic films, is quite a short period of time. Goes to show, oh, and cheap too. Goes to show money doesn't always buy the best things in life, including quality films. So amazing. Go and watch Vortex, and yeah, that's the message here. And fucking hell, man, what a reminder. Because I forget as well to add that I don't live in the world of pharmaceuticals. It's not a part of my life. My parents take them. I don't think about it. Most of my loved ones, apart from that, don't take them. I've forgotten. I know some people on here, quite rightly, it's their mission to focus only on pharma and how bad it is. Mine's a bit more focused on the positive, but it's nice for even me to be reminded of the fact that 99.9% of people out there take, what, 4+ drugs a day, and it's a joke, and it is killing people, and it's a very scary world that we live in. It's also very amazing too, but like I said, you can only focus on you. Go and see Vortex. What an amazing film. Oh, another good one. Another really good one is Requiem for a Dream. Those are 2 good ones, but Vortex is going to be the ultimate on Alzheimer's, dementia, and the pain and suffering that you have to go through. Because your loved ones don't know about true health, haven't looked after their health, and who suffers? Is it the person that has Alzheimer's, dementia? Yeah, they suffer. But it's also the people that they love, because they don't even know who they are. Nothing worse in this world. It's like seeing a ghost. They don't even know who the fuck you are. Alright, talking too long. Signing out. Thanks everyone for watching. Peace.